In the summer of 2018, as part of a faculty-led study abroad program, students in the Knightly Latino International course traveled to Cuba for 10 days. The course was focused on the wealth of culture in Havana and Cienfuegos. A 30-minute television program was created from this study to represent the learning experience, titled Cuba, Art and Soul. A tour guide met the students and faculty at the airport in Havana, representing the Civitas organization. The adventure began with a visit to the Museo Nacional de Bellas Artes, the National Museum of Fine Arts in Havana.
4 main rooms that have to do with the colonial period up to the 90s.
Next was Cayon de Amel, an urban art project whose artists draw on Afro-Cuban cultural influences to create murals and sculptures.
Cultural center of murals and permanent installations inspired by the African-derived religions that we are still practicing here in Cuba.
The team also visited Proyecto Muraleando, a community art project where special needs children learn to celebrate Cuban life through art painted as murals on the town's walls. In order to get a full sense of Cuban life, the faculty and students stayed in casas in Havana and Cienfuegos, similar to bed and breakfast homes in the United States. Casa owners prepared traditional Cuban meals for the students. At the University of Cienfuegos, the faculty and students were very welcoming and explained how the Department of Communication at the university functions. They developed many projects to help their communities.
And it's due to the accomplishment in terms of organization,
laptops, computers, etc.
Students visited the neuroscience lab. Utilizing the NeuroPoint method, one of 15 in the world, special needs children and their families are given strategies about how to learn and communicate better. Together, the students explored the beautiful city of Cienfuegos, the American team being informed about the history and sights of the city, and the Cuban team learning production techniques and how to use video equipment.
Like a decent sized loop, that's when you reverse it. And you just go over like normal.
Both teams visited the Graphic Society of Cienfuegos, an organization that utilizes primitive printing and graphics to create art. An artist provided a demonstration along with a stroll through the art gallery.
So we're doing one interview, that's it. Okay, we're shooting it.
A visit to the quaint town of Trinidad, which has been a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1988, was lined with cobblestone streets and colorful casas. Museums surrounded the town square and artisans sold their wares. Knightly Latino students experienced the music, dancing, and cuisine of Cuba. They had an opportunity to interview the leader and guitar player of the band Los Naranjos.
Que querían hacer la música cubana.
Bueno, Los Naranjos es una agrupación que a pesar del tiempo, que nosotros somos la tercera generación, es como una escuela.
Bueno, decirte una cosa, mi corazón.
By keeping the dance culture alive, a community project, Proyecto Maracá, teaches children traditional Cuban dances and is led by volunteers from the University of Cienfuegos. Also included in the dance demonstrations was the flamenco dancers from the University of Cienfuegos. Other points of interest on the itinerary included the Castillo del Agua, the historic Spanish fortress along the bay in Cienfuegos, dating back to the 1700s, and the botanical gardens of Cienfuegos, with more than 245 species of palm trees and many other plants and foliage. The students visited another fascinating community endeavor, the Merepones Urban Bee Project. Casa owners are beekeepers in the city of Cienfuegos who maintain 30 hives of stingless bees that produce honey for the community and help to prevent the extinction of this unique species of bee. As part of the journalistic experience, the faculty and students met and interviewed Portia Siegelbaum, a producer at the national CBS station in Cuba. She answered all of the students' questions about how the news media functions in Havana.
There's a real system of protection of what's traditional Cuban culture and as it's evolved into modern times. So you get something here which you won't get anywhere else in the Caribbean.
Journalist Hatzel Vila, stationed in Havana as part of the local ABC affiliate station in Miami, joined the students for dinner on the last evening in Cuba. Vila met the faculty and students and dined together at San Cristobal restaurant in Havana. The experience of visiting Cuba taught the students much about authentic Cuban life. Not only did they get to live like native Cubans, but they experienced many of the beautiful and interesting sights of Havana and Cienfuegos, visiting famous plazas and squares like the Parque de José Martí in Cienfuegos and the Plaza de Armas in Havana. Multiple days were spent with the faculty and students of the University of Cienfuegos. Students formed new friendships and received invitations to return to Cuba. As the students said their goodbyes to the Cuban students, professors, guides, and others they met along the way, they realized what a fortunate opportunity it was to participate in a life experience they will not soon forget.